Hello. It's really great to see you. Today we are starting the very first series with live modeling. I was about to say coding, but this is actually modeling. So this is gonna be our first session of character modeling. This is what we are making today. Now it shows us on the screen. Check it out and let's dive right in without further talking. Right, I always like to talk too much. Having a pair tea. This is actually already a second recording because I really messed up the first one, as it took kind of almost 2 hours. And so today we'll try to keep it under 30 minutes. And so this is just gonna be the plain modeling. We won't be doing any texturing, lighting. That's gonna come later in the series. Okay, so this is the cube, obviously. And so first off, I would like just to mention that this tutorial is for absolute beginners. There is no, I won't be using any crazy tactics or sort of not tactics, but like techniques that would sort of make you intimidated. And I'm just gonna fix the Blender view window, and let me see, I guess. Okay, this is perfect. And so let's go and select that cube. Go to the side view. I like always working with the side view. I don't know why. In the window, people usually work with the front view. Anyway, so basically at this point, we have several options. If we tap in, we're gonna go and get to the edit mode, right? So at this point, we can see that I can select the vertices as well as the faces or the edges. So this is the edit mode. So I'm gonna stay in that side view and I'm gonna pick the vertex selection here, and we're gonna go to something that's called toggle. We're gonna toggle the X-ray actually, which just allows us to select the vertices just right through. And so if I was selecting without, I would just select those first two, but as I'm having the X-ray view, it just selects all of them. Okay, so let's select those. Now I'm gonna scale. That's this S, and we're just gonna let's just scale it just to a V shape, and we're gonna do that with the same with. Okay, this is the V shape. But what I forgot to mention is that if we don't lock it in any axis, it would just scale it in all the axes. So that's something that we definitely don't want. So let's just scale now again, but this time lock it in the y-axis. Now you can see that there's a huge difference. Okay, I'm gonna go with the bottom part as for scaling and y in the y-axis only. And you can see that now it's different. Okay. Okay, let's tap out to the object mode. I'm gonna toggle off the X-ray view, and we're gonna add a modifier. In Blender, there are plenty of modifiers, and I always just use few of them because normally you don't really need that many of those anyway. So okay, so this is what happens when you add a modifier. It just makes everything rounded. It adds more of the the faces. It just subdivides basically the whole. This is not a cube anymore, but the shape of ours. So the more of the levels you would add, the more you would sort of detail you would get. So at this point, it's would be good to make a cut. You can see that the modifier is special in a way that it doesn't apply on the mesh. So it's just sort of a you can just see that it changes the meshes, but it didn't really apply. So if I turn it off, you can see that we still have that our sort of keyboard, but this is now a more rectangular shape. So let's tap to the edit mode, and now you can see that we still would be editing actually the old cube that we had without the modifier. So I'm gonna press Ctrl R to add a loop. You can see that if I press Ctrl R now, you can see that it shows us either in horizontal or vertical way. So if I think we'll be adding in both both axes. So this first one is going to be the loop in the in the horizontal line. So whenever you press Ctrl R, you can see that if I move the mouse, it just shows us the options. So let's just left click, escape, and now we got the first one. Then we're gonna go and add another loop here in the first in the vertical line, and again left click, and I can see that we got to that shape that we kind of want. So that's gonna be the V shape face or face. Okay, so let's step out. This is the number one. With number one, you get to the front view. We're gonna go again to the edit mode, select everything, and we're gonna scale again, but this time in the x-axis. So what I like is just sort of having that a little bit compressed. Okay, so let's see what happens if we add more of it. Okay, of the levels, the more levels you add, the more smooth it's gonna get. So we can still see that we are not really satisfied with the bottom part. It's not still in sort of a V shape that we wanted. So let's toggle in the X-ray view as, select everything again, all the vertices at the bottom, and then just scale it down to get almost, yeah, shape like this. Okay. Now we're gonna show you another sort of technique that is very often used in the Blender, which is called extrusion. So I'm gonna select all those vertices up here. I'm gonna go with E. So this point we got extruded. It's already locked in the Z-axis, so let's just play it up like that. And at this point, what we're gonna do is go to this is the top view with number 7. We can toggle off the X-ray view, and now we're just gonna scale it. Okay, let's say by amount almost half, and now you can see that we got a really nice V-shaped sort of head that we can work with now. Again, we can also do that with, at this point we can sort of move, the vertices up, outward, inward, just anyhow we want. But let's just keep it simple. And at this point, this is already very fine and nice. So I'm gonna save it. Here you can see that head of mine that just got. Okay, okay, so at this point, I recommend to add the first eye of ours. So let's go and add the eye. So that's gonna be the sphere. Cool. So let's rename that to the eye, so we organize models. Okay, and let's number 7, let's top view, G, move it. Now we're gonna move it. Yeah, we can move it actually anywhere. That's true. And now let's tap to the edit mode, have it all selected with A. Then you press to rotate, lock it in the Y-axis, and then press 90 on the keyboard and change that. Suddenly it's just rotated. Very simple. You can rotate it in any other way, but this is optimal for our case right now. Okay, so let's tap out, right click on that, and just click on shade smooth to just have it nice and smooth, even though we don't really need that right now, but I like it. And let's tap again to the edit mode, and let's scale our eye down to around this size. Tap out from the edit mode to the object mode and move our eye here, kind of to the place where you want it to be in the future. We really need this as a reference later on to sort of model details of the place where the eye should be positioned. And now let's add another modifier. It is called mirror. That one helps us a lot tremendously, because it just mirrors everything. So I toggle off the axis and set the Y-axis here, and then we're gonna select the mirror object to be the head, and suddenly we have the second eye. So whenever we do a change here, you can see that it just be mirrored on to the other. So let's go to the top view, G, having that I selected, G, X to lock in the x-axis, and just move your eye towards the place where you want it to be. So let's okay, so what about here? Okay, cool. The other thing I also like to just straight away do would be adding sort of a place for the mouse. So let's add a cube. So now we are just doing the rough sort of part, so we would know where all the all the mouse and noses and the mouth will be. So let's also rename this to mouth. What about the gem? I hope you like the music today. And so this is the cube. Let's again just 7gx, move it outwards, out there. So it's easier to model when it's just, you know, not overlapping with the other model. And okay, so let's go to the front view with number 1 SX, and now we're just gonna scale it down so it's gonna be sort of a rough reference for the mouth. So you can see that number 3 side view SZ, and just scale it down. We're also gonna scale it down in the Y-axis, so I'm just always pressing S and then the letter on my keyboard. So I guess that SX. Okay, so this is cool. Tap out to the object mode. This is very important. Whenever you move your object, just do it in the object mode, not in the edit mode. And now we're just gonna move GX and move it towards the face of ours. I think gonna have it like this. Okay, again I'm in the object mode, G, Z, and let's just move the mouth further down, GX, and move it inwards. So I guess that this is it. Okay, the character is done. Wow, this is very convincing. Okay, so we have 20 minutes left on our time, so let's further proceed with modeling. And so at this point, when we already kind of know where everything will be placed, we can go to the modifiers and click on apply. At this point it's impossible to apply because we are in the edit mode, so if we just, you know, move out to the object mode again, just click apply, and then suddenly when we do tap, the mesh is now, I mean, the modifier got applied, so now you can see that it just divided everything so beautifully. Okay, so this is the way to work with Blender. Sometimes you kind of do the irreversible operation, so now it's impossible to get back, unfortunately, but that's the nature of Blender. Okay, so right now we can see that most of the time what will be here on the left will also be sort of reflected on the right side, right? Because we want the face to be symmetrical at least right now. So let's toggle the X-ray view. I'm gonna just select the whole left part of the head. I'm gonna press X to delete, and we're gonna delete the vertices. And now you're guessing right, we're gonna use the modifier that is called mirroring again, the same with the eye, and we're just gonna toggle the Y-axis, and yeah, this is basically it. Very simple, nothing crazy. So this way it's gonna be very easy to sort of, you know, do the work only once, so we don't have to do it on the other side again. Okay, so let's okay, the eye, okay, let's keep it on. We can also toggle off with this eye here, you know, sorry, okay, this way. So now you can see that we have our eye around this position here. So I'm gonna select those vertices, and I'm gonna press G to move, and X to lock it, and then just move it inwards like that. No, just a little bit, it doesn't have to be that crazy. So yeah, and I guess that this is it. We can also just try to, yeah, to sort of example the nose here. So I'm gonna hold shift and select all those vertices here, and now we're gonna press G, X, and just move it out like that. I'm gonna select just few of them, not all, and then G, X, and again I'm gonna move it out, and then the last one here, G, X, and okay, so you can see that we got our nose here. This is just as an example how it can be. Obviously, if we add another modifier of subdivision surface, you would see that it's now getting more rounded and more smooth. So, and this is how it is. Pardon me. Okay, so now let's work with the eye. I think we need to sort of, yeah, make it more so the eye is sort of, you know, holding inside. So let's tap in, and we're gonna toggle off that subdivision surface, or we can have it, yeah, let's just have it on. Okay, so have it off. Okay, so let's just, so this is what we're gonna work with. Because, okay, so let's toggle on the eye. So let's press S to scale. Alright, so now I just scale it up. We're gonna press G and we're gonna press X and move it outwards. Just slowly outwards. We're gonna now just work with the ones on the side. I think for this, at this point, it's good to have the X-ray view, I guess. But okay, it's also kind of messy sometimes, or most often. So just gonna select that and then just toggle it off immediately. And then let's go to the side view, G, and then just move it to the side. So just press G, Y, and then move it like this. I'm gonna play with this vertex. So now our goal is to just move the vertices in a way that they would surround the eye. So I'm just gonna do this. Now I just know that there is this vertex down there, but not that. Okay, so this. Just gonna selecting those vertices and just gonna round our eye. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't have to be that precise, okay? Just, yeah, something like this. Maybe this here. Too far away, okay, and this is cool. So let's see if it's possible. Okay, now we have to select. Okay, so now I'm just gonna select all those vertices one by one. There's unfortunately no faster and better way to do that, so I'm just gonna select those. And now let's add the modifier. Press just GX, so you can see that now we are having this in control, right? You can also have something like this. But most of the time, I guess that we just make it so it's sort of, yeah, like this. Now we press E, we're gonna extrude it. Oh, no, we don't want that. So this is the way you would work with to make the eye in there. Okay, that's cool. And let's now finish the nose. So it's gonna, yeah, was too much. So I'm just always using just that G. And okay, so this is enough. Obviously, again, the more levels we add, the more smooth it gets. So this is, let's say, our character. And now let's play with the mouth. So I'm gonna, I think let's place the mouth. So now it looks a little bit like an alien. But essentially, as we didn't have any details here, that's how it's gonna be. Okay, so let's play with the mouth. Okay, so let's get out to the object mouth, and now I'm having just that box mouth selected. And again, we will probably play the same thingy as with the face. So let's start first with the mirroring. So I'm gonna press Ctrl R, make the first loop here, toggle the X-ray, select those vertices X and delete those vertices. Then let's add the mirror modifier. Again, just select the Y axis, and suddenly we have that second mouth there. Okay, at this point we're gonna always use that Ctrl R. It's a very common technique. So let's Ctrl R, and then with your wheel mouse we can adjust the number of those loops. So the further I go, the more cuts I'll get. So let's add 6 cuts like this. Just left click, escape, and you're happy. You'll be happy and done. And let's also add the subdivision surface modifier again. So this way you can see how smooth it is and how beautiful it's gonna be. And now let's shrink the mouth. Now it's actually the lips. It could be called lips. So first let's just just play with the vertices. So select those, G. So most of the time it's kind of a lot about also moving just the vertices. So now we got this shape here. We also will do that subtle move down here. And now we'll just, okay, now let's just move the rest down like this. A little bit up. Now let's select those, G, like this, and you can see that as we are using the mirror, it's very handy. We don't need to do the device. So. Okay, let's see. Okay, now let's select those and move it up a little bit so the character is kind of smiling, right? Okay. I guess that this would be sufficient for the mouth. Okay, let's also add another cut here in the middle. So let's just Control R, left click, and now we got another loop here. So now we're gonna create that hole in the end of slips. Just small detail, but it's gonna make a huge difference. So Control R again, another loop, and this time when I don't press the escape immediately after left click, we can move that loop down, upwards. And so in here we'll just go as close as possible. We're gonna go the same with the second loop here in the bottom part, and again just move as close as possible. I'm just gonna toggle off that extra view, it's the annoying one. Okay, now at this point we'll just select the line in the middle, or the vertices in the middle, but just leave the rest of the two there. Okay, just move the first let's just try to, let's just move the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 vertices, and now press G and X and then just move that mouth inwards. Okay, so the more, so look at that. So now we got that beautiful mouth. Looks like we got some bollocks in there, but anyways, okay. So I guess this is it, and let's add more of that, those. Okay, more of that. It's called the level of the subdivision surface. Okay, and what I also like would be, toggle extrude, so we always would move everything. So I think the edges of the mouth are usually more rounded, so let's G, X, right, and let's just move this like that. Okay, can be even more. Oops. Like that. I think that the bottom part of the lip is usually not. Okay, so let's just G, Y, X axis and G. Okay, I think that the bottom. Okay, so of course, depending on your character, you would sort of play more with the height of the lips. But the last part of today's session would be left clicking on the mouth. Now in the object mode, we're just gonna rotate it, let's say by 20 degrees. You can just 20 on the keyboard and enter, and we're gonna move it now G, X, and just move it into the face of ours. So I'm just gonna toggle off that. You can see that this is already really cool. And so the mouth also goes it's just not this straight in the front. So it's gonna toggle the top view with the 7, and again toggle the extra view, tap into the edit mode, and now we'll be just moving these again inwards. So just select it all the way from the top view, G, Z, X, and we're just gonna move the mouth like this in. Yes. Yeah, but we just checked how it looks. Okay, so yeah, this is very cool. I think in here in the outer part it can be even more. So let's just select those two and the last one. see. Okay, I guess this is reasonable. Okay. So I think we are almost very close to the time out. So I guess that we will end here today with this, and let's continue next time. Thank you so much for joining me today with the whole live modeling thingy with Thangys. I really enjoyed the time, especially the music, the vibes. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Thangys.